The 144,000 again are the two witnesses. This is your heritage, the green olive tree. Zechariah 4 and 6 says, "What are these two olive trees upon the right side and upon the left thereof? What be these two olive branches which through the golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves?" And he answered me and said, "Knowest thou not what these be?" And I said, "No, my Yahuwah." And he said, "These are the two anointed ones who stand before the whole earth." And so this is a picture of Israel as the two witnesses, and these are the two witnesses who are the 144,000 who go to Jerusalem and call fire down from heaven with the two candlesticks and judge the earth as they preach the good news. Many assume this is Enoch or Moses and Elijah. But of course, we know the spirit of Elijah would come in the last days, and most specifically, Yahusha himself said that John was Elijah. His spirit came into him again. These are actually going to be the 144,000. But there are always parallels with the two witnesses. That's why Moses and Elijah are mentioned together, because they're two witnesses who stand on the mount with Yahusha, which is where the two witnesses will go with the 1/3. Daniel and Ezekiel are named together as two, the only two in scripture who are also called the Son of Man, like Yahusha himself. These men are 144 types. They judged and called fire down from heaven. They led Israel into the promised land. They ascended up to heaven or saw the temple or stood with Yahusha. Where? On the Mount of Olives, where he'll build the temple, the Mount of Olives, of Olivet Discourse. All of these things the 144 will do. How do we know Israel is the green olive tree? Yahuwah called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. But with noise and great tumult he hath set fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken off. Romans 11 and 19 says, "Thou wilt say, then the branches were broken off, that I might be grafted in." So this is what the Gentiles would say. "For if you were cut from what is by nature a wild olive tree," Gentiles are a wild olive tree, "and grafted contrary to nature into" what? "A cultivated olive tree," that's Israel, "how much more will these, the natural branches, be grafted back into their own olive tree?" The sons of Israel are called olive plants, that our sons may be as olive plants growing up in their youth, and our daughters as the cornerstones graven after the similitude of a palace. Psalm 144. Psalm 52:8, David says, "But I am like a green olive tree in the house of Elohim, and I trust in the mercy of Elohim forever and ever." Yahusha says that Israel will be his witnesses in Jerusalem and to the ends of the earth. Pause to read. "You are my witnesses of me, no strange God. You are my witnesses, saith Yahuwah, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that ye may be known and believe me and understand I am he, and before me there is no Elohim formed, and neither shall there be after me." Chronicles and this other scripture say that Israel is the anointed ones, i.e., standing before the whole earth, and they are trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahuwah. John 15:16 tells us that we are branches. If we don't abide in Yahusha, we are cast into the fire. So when we look at the stick of Joseph and the stick of Judah in Ezekiel, we understand that these are the two branches who are broken off and are grafted back in. "Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows." Should actually read tree in all of these instances. So let's look at the word for tree, which is es. And over 162 times, this actually means tree. And so he is talking about the tree of Judah and the tree of Joseph. The northern and southern kingdom are the two witnesses. And you can check it over and over again in the Hebrew. This is why we have to look at the Hebrew, because the Hebrew is the true language of creation. We do not look at the Greek or English alone. Precept upon precept. This is why 144,000 are the two witnesses, the stick of Joseph and the stick of Judah. Learn more at intruealltruth.net and on YouTube.